is live with John Anthony, Angelica, and Regina. Hey everybody, you're live on the air with JAR Radio on the Fishbowl Radio Network. This is your host, Regina Frega, and
John Anthony.
And Angelica Panilla.
Today we're going to have we have our special guest, Bridget Hammers with Find Your Voice. Hey, Bridget.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, and we also have Lindsay Speed with Traffic911.
Hi.
Hi, and we also have all the artists of Find Your Voice. This is a special occasion. We're having a benefit show to raise awareness about human trafficking. We are really excited about this. We're going to have great music today, great conversation, and we're going to get educated. So with that being said, Bridget she is many things. She's an amazing singer, worship leader. She's the owner of BH Music Studios. She is the voice teacher for all these wonderful children that are in here and many, many more. She also has an album. She's an artist. She is also the founder of Find Your Voice organization. Can you give us a little bit of history of, well, first of all, why don't you tell us what is human trafficking for people that aren't aware of what it exactly is?
Well, I think that Lindsay's going to be able to answer that question more in depth later on in the segment today. But I think it's really important to remember that human trafficking is not only sex trading, but it's also trading human beings that are forced to do work labor as well. Human trafficking is the modern-day Holocaust. It is what we are faced with today. There are more slaves today in the world than any other given point in history. And we have allowed ourselves to become numb to what's going on, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. I think for Find Your Voice, our focus is a little bit different than other organizations because we are using teenagers to speak and entertain other teenagers and teach them about what human trafficking is. The number one age for girls that are trafficked is 12.
Wow.
We're talking middle school. We're not even talking in high school yet. They're babies. And so the idea came to me. I mean, I can't talk for more than a couple minutes without mentioning God because he is a focal in my life. And I was sitting on a beach a couple years ago reading a book called Undaunted by Christine Kane, the founder of A21 Campaign. And after reading that book, I sat there and I was like, I may not be a wealthy person or I may not have a lot of things, but God, what do I have right now that you could use to fight in this battle against human trafficking? And immediately the thought came to me, teens saving teens. And what I do have is a lot of I have influence over a lot of really talented young artists that have a voice, and our generation has convinced teenagers that they don't have a voice and that they are just there to get in trouble. Just don't mess up, just get to college. And the truth is that they have a voice. Every single one of them have a platform. They all have social media. They have something that they can use their voice for somebody besides themselves. And that's what the privilege of having a platform is. Yeah. Is using it to speak for somebody who cannot speak for themselves. And that's what Find Your Voice is.
Awesome. So, when you came about putting this together, did you already have your studio and everything?
Absolutely.
Going?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you I'm just trying to get some of the history here. Did you approach the parents and the students and ask do y'all want to do this? Because let's just keep it real. I'm pretty just outspoken. I'm just going to ask you. This is a very touchy subject. It's very some people get uncomfortable about it. So how did you approach your kids? How did you approach the families that you work with? And
well, I made them dinner. We have a special group of kids at our studio called Adapt, and they're our artist development performance training group. And so they're already learning how to songwrite and play instruments and perform and set up 15, 20-minute gigs and performing out all the time. And so I had a direction that I was already wanting to go. So I just, if I remember correctly, I made some lasagna, the frozen kind.
Food is the way to people's hearts.
Yes. And then we sat down and we talked, and I prefaced with, this is not an easy subject, but if we don't speak, who will? And if we have a platform, we have to use it. That is what we're asked to do, is we're asked to use it.
Exactly. I know that I didn't. I mean, like we had the privilege of having the beautiful Maddie Davis on our show early on, and I do agree with you that everybody's given a platform. And this platform, please, if you want to use the Lord's name, we use it all the time. You can listen to all our archives, because that's what we're powered by. I mean, I'm not perfect or anything, but he orders my footsteps. He orders our footsteps, and we felt like we wanted to do something, because when we met Maddie and Wendy, they brought that up, and so I started digging out. I'm like, what is this? And I guess for me, I watched the Taken movies, but that happened over there. It's not happening
over
here.
There issue.
Yeah, my kid's here. She stayed here. I made her watch it. My daughter watch it, because she was talking about going overseas, and she wanted to go to Paris and do all this. I was like, watch this movie my friend told me about. You got to watch it. And freaked her out and everything, and that was great for me. I know that sounds bad, but I'm just being honest.
That was your goal.
Yeah. So then Maddie comes along, she's like, oh, it's happening here, and I'm like, what? No. Like, I can imagine, but it's just, it's scary. It's too close to home. So I guess that's where I'm like, I want my babies okay. I mean, I'm kind of overprotective anyway, they'll tell you, especially my son, and now that he's the baby, but he doesn't understand. And now that this is coming about, I'm like, does this happen to boys? Does this happen to and now that I know that it does, it's like, oh my God, not my baby. It can't. No. What can I do? So I just, people aren't aware. They aren't. And I guess that's where we come in. So the Lord has brought us here today. I'm just wanting to put that out there. This wouldn't be happening unless it wasn't divine connections and setups and appointments. I truly believe that.
Love it.
I mean, that's all that this is. And anybody that knows me or knows my family, they know that we're guided by God. And, again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I don't mess up, because I'm going to continue to mess up. But he knows what he's working with.
No perfect people allowed.
Nope. And he knows what he's working with. So he knows how to work with me. So anyhow, thank you for telling us about that. And who are some of your artists besides the beautiful Maddie Davis?
Well, today we have a few of the artists from the tour. Not everybody is here that's involved with our tour. We have Kendall Bowser. Woo! And give it up for Kendall. Beautiful young lady. And we also have Mr. Michael Plumley with us. He is Keith Urban, is what I would say. Watch out. Awesome. Michael is about to take all of your awards. It's coming for you. And then we are extremely honored to have Roxanne Roots with us today. They are not officially on the tour, but they will be joining us in April for the Find Your Voice concert in April. And so we're excited to have them on board, and just appreciate the support. Again, this is not about any one person. This is about reaching out. And so often, even with all the stats, people just, their eyes glaze over when you give them stats, and it really comes down to the one. But sometimes the one only affects you when it's in your family. Yeah. And my goal is to keep it from coming to the one, that you don't have a personal connection to human trafficking. Exactly. That it's something that you learned about and you were able to prevent. I talked about this in our first concert, that we're not giving all of these stats and all this information to scare anybody. It's kind of like when you teach your kids to look both ways before they cross the road. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the car looks a lot different than it did when we were kids. Mm-hmm. It's human trafficking, and it can take them out if we are not looking both ways before we cross the road.
That's good.
That's scary. I don't like that. Like that was. I guess it's like a reality check. Yeah. Like you just have to kind of slap people in the face with it. I mean, it's just like, hello, this is the statistics are the facts. It's black and white, and I don't know. That's just kind of scary. Yeah. What do you think about this, Angelica?
I know it's like a real, I guess, being a younger generation, I'm glad I'm able to have this voice and speak out about it. I was a little bit nervous about traveling overseas after seeing the movie, but I am really excited about you guys being here today because of how real it is. I've been, since spoken about it and learning about it, I've been keeping up with Traffic911 and everything that's been going on, and there's so many kids that are taken, and it's so scary. I mean, there was a kid on Monday named Michael. I mean, he looks so awesome, and just stuff that just happened. That was in my hometown. I mean, it's next door. and it's scary. But I'm glad we're doing this, and I just hope to touch someone else out there to spread the word even more, to bring awareness to everybody.
Thank you, baby. And that is my baby.
Love
John
it.
Anthony, you have anything?
I don't know.
You don't? How does it make you feel?
Sad.
So you're going to be our spokesperson, okay?
Why?
In Garland. You're going to be the Garland spokesperson for Find Your Voice.
I'm not even in it though.
So anyhow, I appreciate you breaking it down for us. We are going to be having a bunch of singing today by these artists, and we're privileged with that. I'd like to go ahead and get Maddie to sing us a song, and she is going to be singing, I think it was Tracy Chapman, Revolution. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. So go ahead and take it away when you're ready.
All right. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? Sounds like a whisper. Don't you know talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper, while they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper? Poor people gonna rise up and get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. I said it better run, run, run. I said it better run, 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 yeah. 'Cause finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution, oh. Finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution, oh, while they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, and around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper? Finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution, oh. Finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution, oh.
Woo! And that was Maddie Davis. That was awesome, as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. As always, glad to be here.
Thanks. So now we're gonna we'd like to introduce Lindsay Speed with Traffic911. Bridget, can you introduce her?
I can. Interesting enough, we were planning these parents and students. We were planning our soft launch on November 16th, and we were like, okay, well, I had the opportunity to meet Christine Kane. I had led worship for a conference where she was speaking, and so I was able to talk with her backstage and meet Beth Moore. That was an awesome day.
So
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And so I had talked a little bit to Christine about what our plans were, and she loved it. And A21 it's international, And I'm a Texas girl. I mean, I was born in California, but I've lived in Texas most of my life, minus college years in Oklahoma, where went to school in Oklahoma. But I'm back to Texas, and we're back to Texas, which is the point.
Yeah.
Where
You learned quickly.
Yes. So we tweeted. We were like, okay, so who's doing this in Texas? And so we researched, and we found Traffic911, and we immediately just tweeted them. We were like, hey, interested in fighting human trafficking or something like that.
Is that how it began?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was a
gosh,
tweet.
I did not remember. That's
And
too
Lindsay
great.
responded back. She's like, oh, let's have lunch. And so we went to Zoe's, which is one of my faves.
Dear to the heart.
Yes. And that's how we met, and we started talking and immediately connected, because when you are drawn to a cause that helps people and you're sincere about what you're doing, transparency is attractive.
Yeah.
Transparency is attractive,
Yeah.
and especially when you're serving God. So we immediately connected, and then she came and spoke at our first our soft launch, and then so that's how we got started. So
Awesome. Hi, Lindsay.
How are you guys?
long
Good.
story, huh?
No,
Glad
no.
to be here.
Yeah, we're excited that you were able to make the time to be
Yes.
able to come. I know
Yes.
you're very busy.
We all are.
Yes, but we really appreciate you being here. I just wanted to ask, like, what is this organization about, and how does it bring awareness to this, sensitive subject of human trafficking?
Yeah, so Traffic911, we are, based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, do work across Texas, really. We were founded in 2009, and really our mission is to free American children from sexual slavery. So we all know, we've talked about, we have this issue overseas, and people know about human trafficking over there. Our heart is really specifically America and American kids. Even if you saw a victim over here, maybe they're Asian or something, it could be easier to point out than someone who's being sold right here. Our own kids, basically, is what we call them. It's a little bit harder to find, but we're finding a lot of them. We've actually worked with over 130 victims that we've identified here, mainly in North Texas, but around Texas, that have been sold across the United States. And so we work on a prevention, rescue, and restoration three-pronged strategy. And, educating, doing things like this, educating the population just at large is really important to us. We go into schools and juvenile detentions. We're in about 13 different county juvies. And we go in and we teach these young people, basically about the traps of a trafficker and how they can fall prey really easily, like Bridget said, to these traffickers. And through that program, victims begin to identify to us. And so it's just been really interesting kind of what goes through there. And then on the on the restoration side, we opened a safe home called Triumph House. And Triumph House is our long-term restorative safe home there. So that's kind of just in a nutshell, what we do.
Okay, when you say, I just, I don't, our listeners, they might not know anything that
Sure,
you're talking about.
sure.
So when you say, you said that you give them signs of what to look for, of being, what are some of those signs? Can you give us a couple of key signs?
Yeah, I can. Well, sometimes telling a story works even better, to get people to understand what's happened. So one of the things we like to stress when we educate people is that this can happen to anyone. We've had high-risk type of victims, but we've also had victims coming from, like, good families, And, for instance, we had a 13-year-old girl at her middle school. Basically, long story short, she's at a middle school basketball game. Good family, again, honor student, competition gymnast, both parents in the home, churchgoers even. So, everything looks right on paper, right? But she met a couple guys at her middle school basketball game and ended up getting in the car with them, and thus began her 10 days of trafficking, sex trafficking, and long story short, again, she gets picked up, and that's how we come in contact with her. And so things like that happen all the time. They basically got in a conversation about a tattoo, and that was what we call the bait. We talk about traps with trafficker. The bait was basically a tattoo. This girl wanted a tattoo. These guys said, we actually work at a tattoo shop right down the street. That's kind of how it began. We have a lot of cases that began on social media, so we talk a lot about how to stay safe on Facebook, all these different apps that are out, and what to do to keep themselves safe. So we talk a lot about, social media, keep themselves safe, not going to parties, not taking a drink from someone else, lots of things like that you can do, but it all revolves around really being smart, making smart decisions for sure.
Okay, and also, I know Find Your Voice, Bridget just now gave me a little handout that they give out. And here are a few things, just little tips that'll help you be safe. Think before you post. Where do traffickers, predators, and recruiters hang out? Right where you are online, on apps like Snapchat, Whisper. I've never heard of that. Kick, MySpace, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On your Instagram, make it private. Turn off photo map when you post photos. Disable geotags on your photo map from previous posts. What's that?
That is basically, if you have a smartphone, if you go into your privacy settings, there is, you know how you can turn on location services for each app? You need to make sure location services for your camera is turned off. If not, every photo you take has a geographic coordinate attached to it. And so if you upload a photo, let's just say on Instagram or Facebook, predators basically who know about this can log on, look at the back end of that photo and basically find the exact location that you took the photo. It's pretty crazy.
Are you serious?
So turn it off. You can still use your map and things, but turn off your location services for your camera.
Wow.
Easy, easy
gosh.
practical way you can do something and keep yourself safe.
Okay, and here's some Facebook and Twitter. Don't accept friend requests from people you don't know, even if they are mutual friends. Yeah, you know what? Because we have the radio show and everything. Of course, I'm getting a lot more friend requests from people, and I've had some crazies. Like I look on their Facebook, and they're like talking about, different,
things,
gods and different things, and I'm just like, oh no.
Here's what we've seen traffickers do, or recruiters sometimes. They'll all they need to do is just get one of your friends to friend them, and then basically you have mutual friends. So it's more likely that I'm going to hit accept if I see like 5 friends in common. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I met them and I don't remember or something like that. So I'll hit accept. So that's all they have to do is just to kind of get in your web, and then they're in your web. They see where you hang out. They see where your friends post pictures.
I sent you a friend request and you didn't accept it. So did you think I was a trafficker?
I did get no. No, but I'm proud because now I've met you face to face, so maybe that should be the right time.
I only did it so I could tag you because I was posting.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's okay. But I was like, she probably thinks I'm like some weirdo thinking she's hot. I want to take her.
I did not notice, but I will look now. That's great. That proved my point. Perfect.
Exactly. Okay, never post things like, I hate my life, I'm depressed, my boyfriend or girlfriend just broke up with me, etc. Posts like these make you vulnerable to predators. That's good.
Yeah.
I see that a lot with younger kids, and I get concerned. I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah, right.
I'm here for you, baby.
And that's exactly what predators are doing.
Well, but I'm not a predator.
No, I know. But you know what I mean? But that's what happens, like they're like, okay, well, we know you're not a predator. I'm sorry.
You're like, see? That's what I'm talking about.
They pounce on vulnerability. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a girl who just broke up with their boy, or her boyfriend just broke up with her, or something like that. That's what they're going to pounce on and try to help you out, so to speak.
And this is even for boys.
Yeah.
Young boys.
We talk about Xbox Live. Xbox Live is one we've seen in a few cases where, Xbox Live, you can play a game and you can chat with people all over the world. So predators sometimes hang out on Xbox Live, something like Xbox Live,
and
recruit a
PlayStation
boy,
3.
And PlayStation 3, right? Anywhere you can chat. But I'm just using that as an example. Recruit boys. A lot of times, boys can be recruited to recruit girls for the ring. So he say, hey, maybe they end up meeting up for whatever reason, and he says, hey, after school, I'll give you $250 if you walk home with a girl from your school. Just something as easy as that. Again, it's just kind of a web of things. And when we're talking about the average age of entry into sex trafficking is between 12 and 13, where are our 12 and 13-year-olds? They're online. They're on social media. And so that's why this is such a big topic.
Yeah, that's crazy. My baby, he's 12. He'll be 13 in April. So it's really like, oh my gosh, now I'm like even more hovering over him. And now my daughter is too. No.
I know.
Okay, don't check in at locations on apps. I check in all the time.
It's tough.
Facebook,
basically what you're
Twitter.
saying is, hey, here's what I look, especially if you post a picture. You're saying, here's what I look like, and here's where I am. So come find me. I mean, in essence, that's basically what you're saying.
They're gonna come get me, you know, like.
And your name. Yeah.
They're gonna have like a little bit of, you know, I'm a little bit fluffy, so they might have a hard time snatching me.
Yeah, it's good.
As opposed to a 12-year-old.
We talk about to teenagers a lot because even their friends will post a picture of them at Starbucks, and they're like, "Hey, hanging out at Starbucks. Here's a photo of us." You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, that's what, especially when we start talking about sexting and these sexy selfies that happen, then you're even one step further closer to them, you know, wanting to take you.
Wow. Okay. This is posting sexy selfies may be popular,
perfect.
but it puts you at a high risk for being approached and or tricked by pimp. The truth is that you make yourself vulnerable when you post these. A pimp. That's crazy, right? Because you won't know that they're a pimp.
Right.
They can look like an everyday person.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of times they do. They don't always look like what we think.
If you go to a party, never take a drink from someone and assume you know what's in it. Many teens get drugged from drinks at parties and end up being trafficked. Oh my gosh.
That leads us straight into, I know, of Rocks and Roots, I think might play. And I know through 8 days, the movie 8 Days, that's what happened in that movie. You know, basically
I want to see it.
She got drugged. You guys should see it. Go look it up 8 Days.
It's only going to be out for 2 more days, correct? We'll get into a little further.
Yeah. Sorry. Spoiler alert.
Hold on one moment.
Yeah, it's showing at some Studio Movie
Girls.
So.
Okay, y'all want to do a couple more of these while we get... we are going to be getting of Rocks and Roots prepared. Y'all go check them out. Their website is, I think, of Rocks and Roots.
.com.
Of rocksandroots.com. Lindsay and Angelica, they're going to be reading off a few more ways to be safe while we get them set up, because they're going to be singing a song for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think one other thing to share that we haven't shared yet is, so we talked about the average age entry into sex trafficking is only 12 or 13, and that's average age. So obviously we know that they're younger and they're older. But one thing that a lot of people don't know is that once someone is lured or forced into the sex trafficking industry, their average life expectancy, so basically they're dead. If they don't get out within 7 years, most of them are dead. So their average life expectancy of these victims is 7 years. So, you know, why do you think some of the reasons are? Why are they only living 7 years?
They don't feed them too much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a young age, 12 and 13. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They're still learning.
Right.
And being brought into something like that, that's all they know is bad. And I
Right.
think that's why.
Yeah, it's a vulnerable age. And so, you know, most of these victims, there's drugs involved and things like that. So when you start thinking about all that's happening to these victims, you're realizing why they're only living such a short amount of time. So that's one of the things that keeps us going. It's like a lit a fire under our bottom, is just like, they're only living 7 years. We've got to act. We've got to make a difference and do something.
Oh, that's crazy. Thinking back just 7 years ago, I was 14.
Wow.
And it's crazy. So I'm really glad I'm learning more about this. Okay, so now we're fixing to go live with ORAR of Rocks and Roots.
So my name is Bryson Funk.
And I'm Olivia Delaney.
Yeah. and we're of Rocks and Roots, and we're gonna be playing an original for you. This is called "The Story of Jed." 1, 2, 3.
With no home, waiting to walk his everyday ride. One foot in front of the other, taking to a place for a rendezvous. He doesn't have a thing, just a little friend, a friend that sings. Wherever he goes, he goes. Wherever he goes, he goes. A little yellow bird follows and whispers in his ear. Little yellow bird whispers something sweet to make his life complete. oh, 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 oh. Life seemed as a game of flipping coins. Heads win, tails lose, or so they say. But it might change. Oh, it might change today. Coming out of the blue into a new place. Wondering our beauty and everything. No more, only turning seeds to trees and rocks to roots. Turning seeds to trees and rocks to roots. Turning seeds to trees and rocks to roots. Turning seeds to trees and rocks to roots.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, could you tell us again what movie that was actually just played in?
Yeah. Well, this one wasn't played. This one wasn't the one in the movie. Actually, the one that is in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Livia actually plays the piano on it. We couldn't bring the piano in here, so
man.
yeah, we weren't able to play it. But
Yeah.
go see the movie. The movie is called 8 Days, and it's playing in Studio Movie Grill right now at Northwest Highway and then Spring Valley as well. So check it out.
Yeah, until February 5th. So make sure you go see it before then.
Till February 6th.
Oh, 6th.
Today's the 5th. Today's the 5th. Yeah.
Today's the 3rd.
I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Until the
I am
6th,
all
you
over
have
the
3
place.
days.
Yes.
Yeah, until Friday. Yeah. Yeah, so that's awesome. And a really cool thing about that song is called Fade Out, and 100% of the proceeds from that song go to fighting sex trafficking. So, yeah, and Traffic 911
awesome.
as well. So, that's, you know, a friend of ours likes to talk about how everyone has their thing. You know, everyone has that one thing that they do well that they can use to fight this crime, and you know, music is our way, I guess, of fighting. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're creative in different ways, and you can use your gifts in any way to fight against human trafficking, or there's different ways that you can definitely be a part. So.
So y'all have another song for us?
yeah.
Awesome.
This is also an original. This is called Little Things. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flying here to there, running so many places, you tend to forget all the little things. 'Cause all the little things aren't so little anymore. I can't live without all the little things. 'Cause all the little things aren't so little anymore. I can't live without all the little things. 'Cause home can be hard to find. So I left my heart as a beacon. No matter where I am, I I can find my way back home.
The people who care, the ones you love, take care of my heart, so I can find you again.
'Cause all the little things aren't so little anymore. I can't live without all the little things. All the little things aren't so little anymore. I can't live without all the little things. 'Cause home, it can be hard to find. So I left my heart as a beacon. No matter where I am, I can find my way back home. Aren't so little anymore. I can't live without all the little things. All the little things aren't so little anymore. I can't live without all the little things. I need all the little things. All the little things, yeah. I need all the little things. All the little things, oh, I need all the little things. All the little things, yeah. I need all the little things. All the little things. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all sound amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, so great to be here.
Wow. Wow. So, well, since y'all are here, I mean, can we go ahead and interview y'all and like just ask y'all just a few more questions? I know y'all briefly touched on the movie, OR or 8 days.
You know, I have a question.
Yes.
Can I just totally just butt in right here?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So we did go to the premiere, and I have a question for you. Why? Okay, so in the movie, the girl is sold by her friend. You know, and what's really interesting about this is that her friend went and had dinner with her family and everything, and I was like, why did he do that? He looked like such a nice guy, you know, and then he like sold her for probably nothing. So what in character study, why do you think it is that your character did that?
Yeah, well, I mean, he wanted status. He wanted to be felt like a part of something. The character that I played, his name was Drew, and he was really he's a loner. You know, he doesn't really have any friends. He's being bullied and kind of looked down on by the popular people. You know, the ones that have friends and throw the parties and do all that. And he just wanted that. And so, you know, honestly, I don't think he really knew to the fullest extent what was going to happen to her. He knew that it wasn't a good thing what he was doing, but I don't think he knew that it was going to go that far and that was going to happen. He just wanted to be liked and to be a part of the group, and he felt that if he did that, if he took this girl to the party and left her with these people, that was going to be like his in.
I think that's a good point too, Regina. Not to take over right here.
No.
Just I think, especially with working with teenagers a lot, that one of the main things that we hear is that you know they're always trying to fit in, and the truth is that there really is no such thing as fitting in. You know, those of you guys out there, high schoolers listening, middle schoolers listening, it doesn't matter what you do. you're not going to ever feel like you fit in.
Yeah.
And those people that you're giving up everything for really don't care anything about you. And so that's another thing that we started Find Your Voice for, is that we always encourage our artists to develop their own style, to be true to who they are.
Yeah.
Because imitating other people just to be liked will lead you down a road that is not good. It's not good for your career. It's not good for your life. It's not good for your self-esteem. And really finding confidence from within yourself and being confident in who you are. And if you're quirky or odd, own it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, own it. Don't be so concerned with fitting in, because you will always make bad choices when your focus is being popular or fitting in.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I've always been a huge fan of the idea of if you have to change for somebody else, then they really shouldn't be in your life.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Love it.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. Can you hear me?
Came down a little bit.
Okay. What do you call it? We were going to ask y'all, how did y'all come up with y'all's name of Rocks and Roots? I mean, where did that come from?
So basically, Bryson is from a rock background, and he's like hardcore jamming, like electric guitar, black, lots of black and red. So that's where the rock is. And the Roots is me. And I'm more like quirky and like rootsy and folky. So Philippa, actually, she's our manager's wife. She came up with a name, and she was like, "Of Rocks and Roots," and we're like, "Yeah, done. That's the name."
Awesome. That's kind of cool. So ORAR. I know Wendy was Wendy, Maddie's mom, who got y'all here, which we're thankful for. Thank you, Wendy. You're awesome wherever you are. She was saying something about, she had sent the email to Kara, and then, you know, she's saying, yeah, thank you for saying information about ORAR, blah, 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 blah. Like, she didn't say nothing about ORAR. Who's ORAR? And I finally figured out it's y'all of Rocks and Roots. So that was kind of cool. But what is y'all's involvement exactly with Traffic 911? I mean, what is that?
Yeah. Well, our involvement started with the film 8 Days. Philippa, the screenwriter, asked us early on, like when she was still finalizing drafts, to write a song for this film that she was creating. And honestly, the song that we wrote, Fade Out, is probably the fastest song we've ever written. And I totally own it to God. I mean, the lyrics, everything, the melody. She sat down on the piano and worked, and we worked it out probably about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And you know, yeah, we critiqued it and made it better, but the whole song was written that fast.
That's cool.
And that kind of started our journey. I don't even think we knew what that was going to mean, you know, writing this song. We were just writing a song, you know. And I knew nothing about sex trafficking before then.
Isn't that cool how God works?
It is.
He just
really
like downloads something and then just sets it all up. Just
Yeah.
follow him as long as you let him guide you.
I know, and it's been an amazing journey. It really has. I mean, we were able to meet Traffic 911 through the film. A lot of the proceeds are going to Traffic 911, and they went to every single premiere that we had. We had a premiere season. We went to 8 different cities in America. I know, it was crazy, but it was so great to see them at every premiere, and just you know, this is why we write music. I mean, honestly, yes, we love music, but we write to like, my heart is to make a difference somehow, you know. And so it's so amazing to be able to write music that means something and touches and changes, you know.
That's awesome. I know you mentioned about the premieres. I know something's coming up in March. Where y'all going to go in March? Because Kara kind of mentioned something. So why don't y'all let us know? It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, so we are going to South Africa, and there's going to be 3 premieres there.
That is awesome.
And it's going to be crazy because I've never been to South Africa, and I'm so excited to go. And it's really great to be involved, you know. And it's crazy that it's like we're going all over the place. Like, we've not only gone to like every major city, like we're going out of the States and doing this. So it's really awesome.
That is awesome. I know, getting back to you, Samson? Bryson. Golly. You know what? I am so bad with
I'll
names.
be Samson. That's fine. I can be Samson.
I'm sorry. I was calling Lindsay Linda. I am so bad. My bad.
It all works.
My bad, Bryson.
Sorry.
So I know that you were in the film. I think something's really cool about the whole film, like the cast, the crew, everybody. Like everybody volunteered. Were y'all paid at all?
No.
Nobody for this film was paid.
No, and it was. I mean, it was. We had a crazy schedule. We shot a feature-length film in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
That's amazing.
Insanity. I mean, we had a 127-hour day, and I mean, we were shot. Like we were shot by the end of that. But to be able to see what was created, it makes it worth it.
Yeah. Definitely.
8 days. 8 days film.
Yeah,
Make
8
sure to
days
go
film.
see it.
Check it
I
out.
wonder if people are listening like, what film are they talking about now?
Hey, and also, if y'all have any questions or y'all want to y'all have any questions about human trafficking, if you have any questions about the organization, how you can get involved, or if you just have something that you want to say, maybe you encountered something, maybe you have questions on advice on how to handle something, call us at 214-556-6239. We have the best people here to answer your questions, so now is the perfect time to do that and to give y'all any information that y'all want.
And also this is a hard subject, and parents find it from what I've discovered that parents find it hard to talk about it with their kids.
Yeah.
And that's another reason for Find Your Voice, because you can this uneasy subject, you can send your teens to a Find Your Voice concert, and we can talk to them about it in a way that will educate them and also entertain them. And so we do have a concert coming up this Sunday, February 8th, in Frisco, Texas, at Preston Trail Church. And that's from 6 to 8 p.m. If you guys are in the area, come on out and come join us for that concert. Again, if you have any questions, call in. If you are uncomfortable talking about this with your children, send them over. It's a safe place, and it will be taught to them in a safe way, in a way they'll really understand, and they'll grab a hold of the information.
And it's free.
And it's free, yes.
Yeah, and it's
Free is
free.
good.
And you'll also get to hear some great music from all the artists of FUV, which is Find Your Voice. Also, I was going to say something and it just totally slipped my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay, what were you saying about the movie? Where can we see it? And
Yeah.
where is
Make
it
sure
going
you
on
go
it?
to 8daysfilm.org and find out what all. If you go look up Studio Movie Girls, which is a great place to see a movie, anyways. There are some select Studio Movie Girls across the United States, actually, that are showing the film. So look it up, and you can find out how to bring a premiere to your city if you're outside those cities. So it's a really great film.
And
really great.
let the movie inspire you.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and go, that's a great story, but that doesn't affect me. Really just ask yourself, how can you contribute to this war against human trafficking? How can you be a voice for the voiceless? How can you help in modern day slavery in the world, but in America? It's reality that it's here. It's not only an over there issue, it's a here issue. Texas is the number 2 state for human trafficking.
And what's the number one?
California.
Yeah. And I-10 is the number 1 highway. Correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Right.
And a third of, is it 2/3 of I-10 are in Texas that run through Texas?
Yeah.
And you're talking about the cartels, and they're not shy about it. The cartels are sending teenage kids into our high schools to mark children, to mark our teens for human trafficking. So it's not only about a teenager making a bad choice or taking a drink at a party.
Right.
It's about the very people that they're hanging out with, that are sharing lockers with them, that are in gym class with them. Those could be the very people that are targeting them to take them into human trafficking. We are being sold as commodities, and it's not only a teen issue. I know we're focusing on the teen issue. Women and men who are dating, we've got to be smart.
Yes.
Think about when you're leaving dark and going to your car in the mall. Think about it. Not to live in fear. Just be aware of what's around you, and really just pop the bubble that we live in, especially and like I'm up in Frisco, McKinney area, and we live in such a bubble. But there's kids who have been taken from Stonebriar Mall. You're talking about a very ta-da,
Nice.
area,
Well, yeah.
and they're being taken into human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
that's scary.
Yeah, and I think people need to know the how big this crime is, because I think you hear about it, and if you think of human trafficking, you're still somewhat removed from it, and for one, it's kind of become a hot button issue. So some people, I think, maybe just become numb to it, or they just retweet a photo and I'm good, But I think people need to know that even in the United States, here the estimated statistic is between 100 and 300,000 of our own children, which is under the age of 18, are forced or lured into the sex trade each year. Just here in the United States, 100 to 300,000. So we're not just talking about a very small, group that this happens to. This is very widespread, and like I said, we've seen cases run the gamut just as far as like background and different things like that. So don't numb out. I think is important, and I think I love the theme that's been going around is just like, what can you do? What gifts do you have that you can use? And I'll just give you a couple examples that we've had recently. We have one of the signs I can use this as an example. One of the signs that we see a lot with these victims is that their pimps and their pimps and their traffickers tattoo them, or they mark them somehow. It's very common to see like money signs, the tattoos that say daddy, barcode. Those are very well-known tattoos to look for, and so a lot of the girls we come in contact with have been tattooed. And so when we were doing our restoration a few years ago, we're starting out on the restoration side of things. We were like, we've got to get a couple of these girls. They wanted to get their tattoos off. Imagine trying to heal from this and then waking up every day and having tattoos on you to remind you what you had. And so our founder, Dina Grace, she was like, we got to find someone to take these off. And this particular girl really wanted it. And so she just started combing the web, tattoo removal services, blah, blah, blah. So these places were all coming up as tattoo parlors, and we're like, we're not going to take them there. That's where a lot of times this happened in the first place. And so a couple pages over, she found a doctor's office out of Fort Worth who does tattoo removals. And so she just calls up one day, like, hey, we're this organization. We deal with these victims. Would you guys be willing? And so long story short, again, this doctor now offers their services pro bono to our victims.
That's awesome.
For tattoo removal. And what a picture of healing, to know that those are basically, erased out of their lives. And so, what can you do? There was a lady just the other day who offered her boathouse, and kind of like out in the hill country in Texas, and was like, hey, would your girls ever want to we want to take them for a weekend? We have this boathouse and we don't use it that much. Would you, want to use it? So it's just, think about what you have and what gifts you've been given, and see how you can use them for this fight.
Definitely. Okay, with that, y'all, we're going to take a short break and pay some bills and put our commercials on. And but we're going to leave y'all on that note. Y'all think about how you can get involved, and y'all go to the traffick911.com website. No, this is com. And y'all see if y'all can make a contribution, a donation. There's a list of items that are needed. So y'all go check that out, and we will be back on JAR Radio Live with Find Your Voice in Traffic 911.
We're really excited about this next artist that we have coming up. His name is Michael Plumley out of Denton, Texas, and he is an up-and-coming country artist. He's currently in studio creating his first full EP. He is, in the industry we like to call a singer-songwriter. He is definitely, actually I'd call him a songwriter-singer, because he just flows songs, and they're awesome, and I hope you guys enjoy these two he's going to share.
Hello, world.
Hi.
All right. This first song is called Good Things. Here we go. I'm on top of the world today. I've got no problems with the wind or rain. No. People trying to bring me down, I don't hear nothing, I don't hear a sound. No. Keep on moving, keep on grooving, right on down the road. Don't ever highs and lows, but I try to stay high from my head to my toes. Head down to my toes. So if you're ever feeling low, just put a smile on. No one has to know. Nobody has to know. Keep on moving, keep on grooving, right on down the line. Good things will come in time. Keep on running, keep on trucking, right on down the road. Don't ever let your heart get cold. There might be days when it feels so hard. Never forget just who you are. When the road gets long and you gotta carry on, look to the sky. Keep on moving, keep on grooving, right on down the line. Good things will come in time. Keep on running, keep on trucking, right on down the road. Don't ever let your heart get cold. Don't ever let your heart get cold. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. That was so awesome. What was the name of that song again?
Good things.
And how did you come about writing that song?
Sitting at my house one day and just kind of was in a good mood and thought, what's the best way to make yourself express yourself how you're feeling right now? And that just kind of came to me one day just randomly. So
Awesome. Awesome. So you have another song for us you're going to play?
yeah, this song I actually wrote before Good Things. It's called Few Hours. Hope you like it. It's a little more poppy groove tune. Here you go. Sometimes you don't know where to go, and just take a step back, slow down, relax and remember where you come from. Our only weakness is our fear of what's to come. So love your life and everyone in it. Don't you fold it on the hand you've been given. Follow your heart, it knows what to do. Forgive and forget, only thing that's missing is a life full of memories and reminiscing. Live it up before your days are through, because your life's too short and your hours are few. Wake up every day, working 9 to 5. There's always something in your way, now you're just trying to survive. So get your head up, open your eyes. If you learn to love yourself, then it must to your surprise. Said it must to your surprise. You love your life and everyone in it. Don't you fold on the hand you've been given. Follow your heart, it knows what to do. Forgive and forget, only thing that's missing is a life full of memories and reminiscing. Live it up before your days are through, because your life's too short and your hours are few. Hours are few. Hours are few. Thank you.
That was awesome, Michael. Thank you so much. we're trying to get a little bit of technical things situated, and we're going to have Bridget come on. She wanted to ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind staying on.
Sure.
So we're talking about human trafficking, and the age 12 has came up a couple of times. So we know that you have they don't know, but we know in the room that you have a sister who is 12,
Yes.
who's turning 13.
She is also part of this group, the Find Your Voice. She's going to be there. She couldn't come today because she was a little busybody. She's had a
She's a triple threat.
Yes,
So she is actually the lead of her UIL play.
Shout out to Sydney Cope.
Sydney, what's up, baby?
What's up, Sydney and
then
Mama Cope?
And she is a firecracker. Does not leave anything left, which is awesome. I encourage all our artists to leave everything on the stage.
Yeah, and
walk off exhausted.
Her birthday is actually the day of our concert, so that's pretty cool. She's
that's
dedicating
February
8th.
Yeah,
February
she
8th.
13.
Turning 13 years old.
And hearing all this information, and having a sister in the age bracket that is the mean age, what do you feel about human trafficking? Like,
honestly, I wouldn't. Like you said earlier in the show, it wasn't really one of those things you were really worried about. You kind of put it on the back burner, and after hearing all this stuff, how many kids did you say per year in Texas?
1 to 300,000 in the United States.
In the U.S.
Yeah,
okay.
100 to 300.
Still, yeah, Texas is number 2 on that list, and that's really scary because I have not only my little sister, I have a younger brother that's 2 years older than her, and then I also have 2 little sisters that live in Houston too. So, it's really eye-opening for that. And I actually I'm in the process of writing another song called "Not for Sale." It's in a big brother's perspective, and it's me talking to somebody who's trying to kidnap my little sister. So maybe one of these days I can come back on and play it for you guys.
So
we'll come back on.
Here's the thing is, just like Michael, we're all learning and we're all getting information that is new to us. And immediately when he found out this information, I was talking to his mom, Mama Cope, Sonia, and we were talking about Traffic911 and how they do the not for sale, basically. Our people, our kids, our families, they are not for sale. And it's mind blowing to me, not to get on any kind of like soapbox, but just the fact that we value, do not kill the seals or this minnow that's in this river. Let's pay thousands upon thousands of dollars for this minnow.
Exactly.
And we
Don't get me started.
We are standing by while our children are being forced into slavery. And if you really knew the details of what this industry is, and really just opened your eyes and said, I refuse to stick my head in the sand any longer. I have to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And just because I don't see it does not mean that I'm not required to do something.
Yeah.
Christine Kane says it like this: compassion. The church has confused compassion with emotion, that it is not enough to hear something that is sad and have emotion about it. Compassion is the act of doing something.
Yeah.
And we can no longer stand by and go, you know what, I cried over hearing that story, so I'm compassionate. That is not what compassion
Exactly.
is. Compassion is getting up and doing something about it. And that's what we are asking you guys to do. We're asking you to do something about it. And it may be singing a song. It may be going out and passing out flyers. It may be volunteering at a homeless shelter and then teaching those higher risk kids about the risk of human trafficking. It doesn't matter what it is. Be creative with it. Ask yourself, ask God, what is it that I have today? Or what is it that I'm doing in my life that is actually contributing to human trafficking? Is there something that I'm doing that's contributing to that? And what is it that I can take out of my life? The truth is that, pornographic material is filmed somewhere, and it's not all filmed in Hollywood. And there's a reason why you have brothels and stuff like that. It is not just for the actual act of the sex trading. They do fantasy films and stuff like that there, and I know I'm going way off, but how many people are entertaining themselves with pornography? That is feeding into the very thing that we're talking about, this multi-billion-dollar industry. And again, it's not pretty, and it doesn't sound good, and we don't want to talk about it, and we get a little uncomfortable in our seats.
It needs to be said.
It needs to be said.
Well, and you're not going off, because speaking from experience, I mean, these girls that talk to us, that I've talked to one-on-one, most of them say that they were forced to be involved, in something like either a video or photo shoot for what someone may think was their choice, or they chose to do that. The truth is, they didn't. And we know for a fact that pornography is one of the number one drivers of sex trafficking. So people that put this in another bracket, put sex trafficking or the sex trade in a different bracket that they do, a strip club or pornography or something like that. It's all feeding into this big giant thing. And people need to know, and you're right, people need to talk about it and know that these girls that we work with, girls and boys, but we primarily have worked with girls thus far, have been forced to be in this, and that's a lot of times the case, and people don't know that.
Yeah, we don't. And I know that earlier you mentioned the Triumph House.
Mm-hmm.
That's the restoration home, right?
That's our restoration piece.
Okay, I mean, being that this is an uncomfortable subject and what have you, this is something maybe people don't want to get involved and be I don't know, some people are funny about having their name attached to something like this.
Sure.
So for those particular people, if they want to be like an anonymous donor, or what can they do to support Triumph House? Like, what things could they donate or give y'all, or where can they go?
I love this because it's so practical. Who hasn't been on Amazon, right? Who's hasn't been on that? We have an Amazon wish list set up for Traffic911 for Triumph House. I think if you search Traffic911 Triumph House, it'll come up. But there's also a link on our website. But go. We have things as easy as we have a constant need of toilet paper, of paper towels.
That's cool.
We got a pool built this summer, and so we need items for the pool. Just different things people don't realize that we have an ongoing need for at the house, and you can play a part in that. And that's an easy way that you can go in, buy an item for the house, and it can be sent to our house and to our team, and so that's a practical way, and really, if you're in the Texas area, look on our website, because we have about a team of 450 volunteers who make our organization work, a very small staff, and about 450 volunteers who get trained to go in our outreaches, get trained to go in juvenile detention centers and different things like that. So if you are a person who wants to get your hands dirty per se, or get into this work on the front lines, and you're in Texas, come partner with us. And if not, email us, because we can tell you other organizations out there who are doing this work in other states, and we can hook you up with them.
That'll be awesome. And this house, is it like the location, is it public knowledge?
No, it's not. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because people need to know. I've been sitting on some different panels lately, and people ask us, what's the biggest gap in the system of anti-trafficking work and services for these victims? And it's aftercare services. There are a very few very few organizations actually do this work on the restoration side, so there's safe homes, there's these kids need a place to stay, and so there's less than 500 beds across the United States that are specifically for these victims. And so Triumph House, it's important that it be secluded, that it be a safe place, that it's approved by the state, so it's kind of a tough battle to do. That's why not very many people are out there doing it, but it's important, and we need more people to do that. So it is in Texas. It's on a 160-acre ranch. We have a big property, and we have a 7,000 square foot home that we house up to 6 girls. And we could house more, but the reason that we house only 6 is because we want true long-term restorative care. And if you put them in another group home, a lot of times that's what they've been their whole life. They've been through CPS or through foster care, things like that. So our model is long-term restorative familial type environment where they can truly see healing. So
do y'all turn people away?
We do. I wish we didn't. And
do y'all give? I mean, do y'all refer?
Yeah. I mean, we have referral type systems set up, and we all know each other who work in the human trafficking realm. So we all, hey, do you have a bed available? Do you have a bed available? But the truth is, almost everyone's full all the time. And so that's why these kids are sitting in juvie a lot of times. And law enforcement, they're doing their job. They're like, we just want to try to get these kids help, And I say kids because we specifically work with underage 18. And they're like, the best thing sometimes we can do with them is take them off the street, put them in juvie for a few days, and at least try to get them services, or get them plugged in with us and try to get them services. So it's a really tough battle, but there's some really good things happening.
And what is A21?
Yeah.
What is that? I know you've mentioned that. I've seen the logo, but what is it?
A21 campaign is very similar to what Traffic 911 does, except it's on a global market. Instead of being focused on specifically the United States, it is a global. They focus on all the countries. They do have multiple safe houses.
Yes.
They have. I believe they have one in New Orleans. Somewhere, obviously, the locations are not able to be disclosed as to where the safe houses are. And they do the full circle, too. They have those who are teaching prevention and teaching awareness, and then they have those that are going in and rescuing the girls and the guys, the victims of human trafficking. And then they have the homes where they stay, where they're able to be rehabilitated. I mean, Lindsay and I were talking, it's 18 months of very intense therapy just to even get to the other side of rehabilitation
to break
process.
that trauma. It's a tough, and it takes specialized services to really begin. You can't just put a regular counselor in front of these girls, or victims. They're going to run for a loop. And so that's why it's tough, because it does take specialized trauma-informed care. And that's where all of us who are in the anti-trafficking movement know about. And I will say, be encouraged, because I think since this is a hot button issue, they hear about A21, they hear about Traffic 911, and all these different organizations. We're all needed. If you're doing good work, we're needed, because we're talking about 27 to 30 million slaves in the world today. It's going to take an army. You know what I mean? And so no one organization, no one group can tackle this, and that's why it's important that we all work together. We're all sit on coalitions and boards together at these different organizations and talk about what is our organization? What is your doing? Where's there a gap that another organization needs to come in and do this piece? Because there's a lot of different legs to this issue.
Awesome.
I mean, and just on the way in, Grace is my intern. Say hey, Grace. Woohoo. And we were listening to just Christian radio, and the announcer was talking about how Christine Caine had posed the question, do you have to be a hero to be a Christian? And basically that being a Christian, you're in an army. It is not about one person.
Exactly.
It's not about celebrity. It's not about, there are no co-stars in the life of a Christian. It's all about just digging in. And really, the question I've been posing to myself and those who are close to me is, why is it that you do what you do? And have that question posed to everything that you do. Is it for fame? Is it for money? Is it for stature? Why is it that you do? Or is it simply for God? Why is it that you cook dinner for your husband? Why is it that you do your job? Why is it that you fight human trafficking? I mean, what is the reason behind why you do what you do?
I love that.
And if you can get the right answer to that, which is, God, if you can get that answer, I mean, it just sets peace into everything you do. I think so often that we, even as do-gooders, we get off focus and we think, I'm doing this because I'm making a difference, or I'm doing this because it makes me feel good, or I'm doing this because, I'm helping people. And then what happens is that when you're doing things for reasons other than simply I'm doing this to serve God, you get very tired. And you get very weary, because this is a battle. And when you're doing that, or you all of a sudden, then you need affirmation from other people, or you need this from your husband, or you need this from your friend, or you need this from your teacher, or you need something from people, and you're trying to pull things that those people were never designed to give you. So that's my biggest thing in this, is that why are you doing what you're doing? We want you to do something. We also want you to do it for the right reason.
And have a calling for it. People ask us almost every day, wherever we go, people are like, how do you do this? You know what I mean? Like, how do you do this basically it's a call. I don't think it's a job for me. It's a calling. And it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing. And how do you hear these stories day after day? And our teams that go into juvenile detention and not only hear the stories of sex trafficking, but all the other things that are going on with these poor kids. And we're like, you know what? At the end of the day, God's called us to do this work, and somehow He gives us the strength to hear these stories and to still have a heart, and to stay committed to the cause, because we do get to see the good things happen, and that gives us some dollops of hope. But it's a calling, and it's like, what has God called you to do? And that's the lane you got to go in.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, people like you and others, I couldn't do that. I'm not. I get too. I'm too emotional.
Yeah.
I get too attached, and like I would be bawling with them, and I wouldn't be help.
Yeah.
You know, so that is not my calling. And so that's why I was like, what can I do? I don't know. I just felt, I didn't plan to do, get involved or anything like that.
Just this radio show alone, you're doing your
No, that's what
that.
I mean is that like the Lord was like, you can do this.
Yes.
And so we've been trying to get this set up, and with the help of Wendy Davis, she's the Maze Balls, but she helped me we finally got a date worked out. We could have Bridget here because I needed Bridget here.
Yes.
We needed as many people as we could get here, and then you were able to come. God, like Bridget said, you get weary and you get tired when you're trying to force something.
Sure.
Otherwise, God will just set it up, and it just like flows. It just like happens. Everything, all the pieces fall into place. And so that's how I'm able to give and be a voice, and through social media I'm using it for that.
Platform.
But that's how I'm a giver, and doing like that. But and another thing I wanted to say is, like, you were talking about being a doer. Even in the Bible it says that someone can come to God's face on Judgment Day, and they could have done all this good stuff their whole life, but unless it was done unto Him and in His name, He doesn't even know them. Yeah. He's like, I don't even know you. So, you can do all day long, but in reality, it's not. If it's not in His name and for Him, then it's
His glory. Yeah.
Yes, for His glory in the end. Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
It's good stuff.
Good. Well, that all leads into our next artist that we have with us. This is Kendall Bowser. How are you?
Good. How are you?
So this first song you're going to be singing for us today is called "Give Me Some Time." Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Basically, I wrote this song because everyone goes through rough times, and it's basically just talking about that you need to just give it a little bit of time, and that it'll be okay in the end. So I wrote it for myself and for other people that just need that little something to give them a little bit more hope.
Sounds great. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that one. Okay. To hide. You're not the only one who wants to get away and leave it all behind. So please don't go. Stay right where you are. Your broken heart will soon be mended up. I swear to you, everything will be alright. Darling, trust me when I say you will be just fine. Just give it some time. You will be alright. Oh, you will be alright. You mean the world to everyone that you've known. You've done for something more. Don't give up hope. There's so much to live for. I swear to you, everything will be alright. Darling, trust me when I say you will be just fine. Just give it some time. You will be alright. Oh, you will be alright. You will. To you, everything will be alright. Darling, trust me when I say you will be just fine. Just give it some time. You will be alright. Oh, you will be alright. Oh.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I never heard you sing. That was beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You wrote that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the background story of that?
Oh, well, basically.
Did you already say
yeah.
it? I'm sorry. Can you tell us again?
It's just about, everyone goes through rough times, and everyone needs that little something to pick them back up and keep going and stand on their feet. And this is just kind of my little something, and I guess someone else's little something, hopefully, just to get them back up and give them a little more hope.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
You going to sing another song for us?
I can.
Yes, please. Just let us know what the name of it is.
This is Who You Are by Jessie J.
Awesome.
I stare at my reflection in the mirror. Why am I doing this to myself? Losing my mind on a tiny error. I nearly left the real me on the shelf. No, 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 don't lose who you are above the stars. Seeing it, that's saving. Dreaming is believing. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes it's hard to follow your heart. Tears don't mean you're losing. Everybody's bruising. Just be true to who you are. No, 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 no. Brushing my hair, do I look perfect? I forgot what to do to fit the mold, yeah. The more I try, the less it's worth it. Hey, hey, hey. 'Cause everything inside me screams no, 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 no. Don't lose who you are above the stars. Seeing it, that's saving. Dreaming is believing. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes it's hard to follow your heart. Tears don't mean you're losing. Everybody's bruising. Just be true to who you are.
shows like, whoa, just go and leave me alone. Real talk, real life, good life, with a smile, that's my home, yeah, home, that's my home. No, 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 yeah, don't lose your heart, and love the stars, seeing it deceiving, dreaming is believing, it's okay not to be okay, sometimes it's hard to follow your heart, doesn't mean you're losing, everybody's bruising, just be true to who you are, yeah, 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 yeah.
Woo! That was awesome.
Thank you.